So this is lesson 91 in Saxon's Algebra 1/2, the second edition book. And this lesson is on something called trichotomy and symbols of negation. Now trichotomy is a great big word, fancy sounding word, that comes from the Greek tricha, which means in three parts. What it really means is that when you're comparing two numbers, there are only three possibilities. They can either be one greater than the other, one less than the other, or they are equal to each other. Symbols of negation, negation, negative, they sound alike. Negative, opposite of, we've learned in math. So if you put a slash, like we have here, through either of these symbols, it negates or makes that statement untrue. So in the above examples, we would say that, for instance, this is not greater than, not equal to, not less than. So if we see that symbol and say that the number is not less than, then according to the trichotomy axiom that we just talked about, the only other choices left that would make it a true statement are is greater than or equal to. If it is not greater than, it is less than or equal to, and if it's not equal to, then it either has to be greater than or less than. Now, when we try to graph these negated inequalities, the first thing we have to do is turn it around and make it a true statement. So this says x is not less than 2. So if it's not less than, to make it true, then we know that x would have to be either greater than or equal to 2. So once you write it in its true form, you're doing what you've already been doing and graphing it on the number line. And remember that if it is equal to, if that line is under it, that needs to be a closed circle because it starts at 2, it includes 2, and then everything to the right on the number line is greater than. Alright, here's another example. This statement says x is not greater than or equal to 1. Well, if it's not greater than, it's not equal to. The only other choice is x is less than 1. Now this does not have the line under it, so we're going to use an open circle on 1, and then we're going to go to the left on the number line and keep going because x starts at 1, but it doesn't include 1. It's everything from this point on. This example says x is not less than negative 2. So if it is not less than, it is greater than or equal to negative 2. If it is equal to, it includes, so we put a closed circle, and then we take our line going to the right. Alright, so here are your practice problems, and it says graph x is not less than or equal to negative 1. If it is not less than or equal to, the only other choice is x is greater than negative 1. It is not equal to, so it does not include negative 1. It starts there but does not include it. So we put an open circle and then the arrow going right because it's everything greater than that. This says graph x is not greater than 2. So we make it a true statement by saying x is less than or equal to 2. We're going to use a closed circle on the number 2, and then if x is less than, then we're going to make our line go to the left. Okay? And our final practice problem says x is not greater than or equal to 2. So then our choice then is x is less than 2. It is less than but not equal to, so it is an open circle, and then the line goes to the left to show that x is less than. Alright, this is not a difficult lesson, even though the word trichotomy may make you think it is. Good job, and I'll see you back next time for lesson 92.